Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledge it, knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
Good evening. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program they call Topic Thunder. And if they're already filling up in there, folks.
Ryan Hansen got a foot thrown in Facebook jail.
Oh no!
So yeah, I had to direct him towards YouTube. So him and the Russian bots will be joining us from YouTube tonight.
Oh, and good luck. And
our young friend Aaron Peterson in the house is good to hear from you.
Look,
Biz also in the house. Doesn't seem to miss a show. That man.
He's a solid dude. Let me tell you what. That's why we're always happy to support all the solid dudes and everybody in what we call the Thunderdome, the world's most dangerous chat zone. You can see it filling up right now with a whole bunch of really cool people, and including love of my life, Amy Cleaver. There she is, folks. Hey, let's.
Oh wow, that's scary. That this is genuinely where Biz.
I am worried about that, and especially. Oh, you want? Okay. Welcome to a new episode, a new addition to the roster of segments here, ladies and gentlemen. And it's called Broox's Anxiety, where he pores over news almost 24/7 hours a day, and worries sometimes if he's presenting the wrong or misinformation to the people who follow him on the podcast for his news.
Welcome to your anxiety.
Welcome to Broox's Anxiety. We'll be cruising at 40,000
I'm going to make a jingle for that and
everything. We'll be serving peanuts and refreshments once we reach a level flight deck. But I do worry about that stuff, which is why we might be covering things in more broad terms, I think, as opposed to kind of maybe getting nitty gritty, because nitty gritty is tough, folks. I'm not trying to make no martyrdom here. I'm just saying, with all of the misinformation and disinformation out there,
right.
It's tough.
Yeah, it really is. In the subjects that we try to delve into a little bit, there is a lot of misinformation, so you've got to be careful, and you do a good job of making sure that we cover our bases and all those things. So, man,
I hope so, because shit. Sorry for the language, young Aaron. Don't listen to this old man in that regard, I guess. But and earmuffs on this one too, Aaron, because you're not of age. But welcome to the segment called Drink Lab, whatever. We like to kick off the show here with a little refreshment, a little libation. And today we're going to be going back to the north side of Chicago to the Beguile Brewing Company. We've had their beers on the show before, and actually on different name podcasts we've actually had the beers. So this one in particular I have not had before. Welcome, Aunt Chris. I have not had Ghost Man on Third. You can imagine why I bought it, because what the hell does that mean? Well,
yeah, that's a crazy name. That's on the top 5 names of the beers.
And they're not going to win any awards for the most creative can. It's a solid design. Once you get up, well, I guess it's a yeah. So there's nothing crazy about the design.
No it's crazy solid artwork. Yeah,
but it is there. Got good use of colors. Good, you stick to that 3-color design. You keep it kind of simple. There's nothing crazy about it. Look nice, clean finish. Well, let's hope the beer is living up to that too, right? So it's a hazy IPA with Citra, Cascade, and Cashmere hops. Yes, citrusy, which sounds like a
citrusy is like the name of a band. It's
or like
so is Citra, Cascade, and Cashmere. That's also very much like Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and like that band we were talking about last week. I forget their name.
or like Bond villains, like the trio of women show up to
Right?
kill.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes. So
Mr.
the three
Bond.
C's:
Right?
Citra, Cascade, and Cashmere.
That's all they
They
like. You
formed
hear,
and they formed the trio called Citrusy.
then and that's it. Right there, it is. You just wrote. You're
Written.
welcome, James
Boom.
Bond franchise.
Right.
We just wrote you the
like
basic.
they need our fucking help, but there you go.
Hey, yes, they do actually, because what have they done lately? It's like an evil Charlie's Angels.
Right,
run with
evil
that.
Charlie's Angels. Yes,
They're like they're mercenary ets. Come on, for hire, and we can't say Charlie, right? So what's an evil like way to say Charlie, like an evil name, like kind of.
Yeah, I guess Citrusy, right?
But that's the name of the group. Like if you have a problem, you call Citrusy.
Call
If you
Citrusy.
no questions asked,
because there is like that USSY is very Bond villain-esque in that there is like some sort of like weird sexual innuendo to it, right?
Yep, it really. Oh, and the beer too. It makes love to your mouth.
Yeah, you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Brooks Bolts out of 5.
This is
Let's
a
hear
solid
it.
4. It's a really good beer. It's not like earth shattering, but I know Gigi wouldn't like it because it has it is very citrusy and not like a summer shandy way where it's sweet. This wow, you can really like it. Honestly,
what is it? More like a grapefruity?
Grapefruit.
Or
It's like heavy on a grapefruit for real, babe. Come in here and taste this for the crowd. So your face pucker up like a
we need a backup opinion here.
This is
it's
ridiculous.
That good.
It's sour. You have to like your citrusy sours. She's sporting a very cool Guns N' Roses t-shirt, by the way. That's how
nice.
badass she is. That's pretty.
That's good.
You like that?
I do.
Wait for it. Yeah, it has that. Yeah, as she's famous for describing my beers as something that hits you in the face like that. You like this?
I do.
Really?
Wow.
It's good. It's not too bitter. It's like citrusy.
Okay, well, crack yourself open. Feel free to have one then.
Let's go.
You're welcome. Let's go. That leads us right into. Well, geez, we do need more women on the podcast. We're misogynists.
We need a female third to start sitting in more often.
I think we do, and we need to expand the studio here. Is what we basically need to do. We can work on that. But hey, what we don't need to work on is the most creative headline in any radio, television, podcast segment ever. It's called Headlines. Nobody's done before. Nobody will ever do it again. And I jest because I don't know. It's the only way I have to kind of ease our way into a difficult conversation again. And we find ourselves like, I don't know. I'm going to be flat honest, folks. It's getting to be too much. There's too much going on right now.
And again, it's impossible to find a good side on this. It's becoming more and more difficult, and and call me whatever if you have to, anti-Semitic if you need, but more and more I just think that Israel's response is borderline irresponsible. It's borderline irresponsible to me. That attack on that refugee camp yesterday, that's a rough one. Like, I get it that Hamas is using these people as a human shield, but you know that's what's the case. And to bomb it anyway, knowing that there were so many civilians at a refugee camp.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
How do you justify that?
I was gonna put those pictures up, but those are getting increasingly difficult to watch too.
Yes.
But Ben, I will let you know that the top UN official in New York has stepped down, citing the quote genocide of the Palestinian civilians. Craig Moghaber.
Yeah,
Moghaber.
It looks very Swedish, maybe, or something along
something, right? It looks like something, Ben. But he's the director The director of the human rights body has accused the US, the UK, and much of Europe as, quote, wholly complicit in the horrific assault. And it goes on to explain, look, first of all, let's consider this and state the importance of somebody who has worked their entire lives to attain a position such as this, to be in probably having not been heard and speaking his mind, which he should have a voice in something like this. If you're the what is he? He's the director of the New York office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. That seems to be an important position, although I don't know the exact power structure.
Yeah, it seems like you got to probably put in some work to get named to that spot.
It's a lifetime of work. It's a career
Yeah,
achievement.
you don't just like get like that's not one you just get like somebody and
Right.
get that spot. Yeah.
And when people like that resign, and this quickly, and I'm looking at you, General McMasters, and some of the Trump sycophants who hung around in the administration while terrible things were happening. This is how you handle a situation like this. And this is how you let the world know that something is wrong with the system, is you submit your resignation and you say all of Europe, the US and UK is wholly complicit in a horrific assault, drawing attention to this. Now, you didn't have to look too far in any kind of online feed. I don't think a whole lot of mainstream media covered this, but there were demonstrations across the globe that were pro-Palestinian. And who's not pro-Palestinian?
Well, here's one thing though. A lot, and I because again I dabble and my algorithm pulls a lot of right wing, social media, right? And there's a lot of right wing social media painting those pro Palestine protests as pro terrorism protests.
And there's that dichotomy on that side, right? And I want to preface, or at least not preface, but kind of also add to the fact that, like, I am a pro-Palestinian state, self-governed pro-Palestinian. I am a two-state solution guy, and I think it can happen. But you've got to take the weirdos, the hardliners out of the equation, and you've got to put a new generation in control. And what we have here are some old school hardliners going at it for reasons unbeknownst to the people, because the Israeli people, most of them, like, we don't want this either.
Mm-hmm. The people
Palestinian
caught in the middle, the civilians, don't want this.
Nobody wants this. Nobody like you and I, Ben, want this. Anybody listening to this show, if this was happening in your home, you would be like, I don't want this happening right now.
Right. Please
Now,
make this stop. Yeah.
I'm going to also say Israel does have the right to defend itself. What happened was horrific, right? It doesn't justify other horrific things, I think,
Right.
in sense. And I guess if that makes me an anti-Semite, I don't know. That just seems, and that's where this gets really weird, right? You walk right up to this line of like, and this was going to be, I guess, my point is that if we don't subscribe to a whole lot of conspiracy theories here, we try to kind of give light to.
I mean, there's a couple that I give credence to,
but nothing on the scale of like, well, there's an
I mean, we're not flat earthers or anything. Right.
Oh, we love those. I saw a great meme as a segue, bad segue, but non sequitur. That somebody said like have a hexagonal earther where everybody gets their everybody. All right, and there's some D&D. Yeah, it's terrible. There's no but I needed a break. But in this situation, there is no clean winner, right?
No,
it's as close to a 50-50 draw as you could
as you can
possibly
yes.
get. And it's inflammatory because of that, right?
Right.
There's no overwhelming consent. There are people that can agree atrocities like this should not happen. No, you should not be beheading babies and raping women. You should also not be bombing hospitals and refugee shelters and using phosphorus, which is a terrible weapon to use on a civilian, on any human being,
and purposely withholding aid and not allowing people to leave and forcing them into a situation where there's literally no food or water or power or internet or anything. Like that's just it's too much. And like you said, the biggest segment of people I think in this are the people that think both sides are wrong and they have a lot to blend. I think rather than picking a side, I think the most populated side are the people in the middle, right? That are like us, that are like both sides are not great here. Like to take a hard line stance in support of either side is misguided. It is ignorant to the full scope of the issue to take a hard stance in support of either side, which again is frustrating when you hear our president and our government repeatedly say that they are fully in support of Israel. Like, how can you make that statement on behalf of all of us when most of us, by polls that are out there now, most polled Americans say a ceasefire, stop that nonsense that's going on, stop the killing, let's figure out another way.
Okay, let me all right, let me introduce this then to that, just because, right? Let's he's the president of the United States. He has access to information we can only imagine, right? What if he knows by de facto support from Russia and Iran that Hamas are there to kind of not only do what they've done and horrifically done, but like ignite something that could influence elections everywhere? What if they know that internally Netanyahu is screwed and will be ousted at the first chance he gets, but they don't know who might take power there?
Right, the vacuum that is left. Yeah.
And wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Israel is a nuclear power. We have given them the bomb. It's been
kind of
well known.
It's kind of important who's in charge there. Yeah.
And if holding what they have together while keeping Jordan and Lebanon and apparently they're firing rockets from Yemen into Israel now, which is insane to think that Yemen is firing. That's a long way for some friggin' missiles to travel. Like you've got to be it's not like a whoops, let's put it like that. Okay.
We overshot a smidge.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because Yemen's it has a civil war going on. Saudi Arabia has been bombing the shit out of them and using our stuff on them. Nobody talks about that. We're going to talk about Saudi Arabia a little bit later. But Yemen decided, and all of their trials and tribulations, to launch a bunch of missiles towards Israel. President Biden just sent the Secretary of State back over to the Middle East.
I think you're onto something there to kind of could acknowledge the point that you're making, because from what I understand, Russia has again met with leaders of Hamas. And in the last week, if I'm not mistaken, has come out and said that they do not view Hamas as a terrorist organization.
Let's really quick. I want to reinforce your point about how Russia really feels about the state of Israel and Jewish people, because I believe, Ben, I sent you a story. No, wait. Oh no, hold on. Anyway, wait. ABC. Hold on. It's the ABC News on X. So apparently, in Dagestan, Dagestan, part of Russia. There were reports that an Israeli airline was going. Did I send it to you or no?
No, I don't
Okay.
have it.
Hold on, I can rectify that while talking at the same time. There was reports coming in, reported through multiple online channels and telegrams. One of them that an Israeli airline was landing with Israeli Jewish refugees from
Oh,
seeking
yes, I
refuge.
did see a story about this.
And well, let's just say the airport in this part of Russia had their own version of January 6th.
Yes,
When
it was pretty crazy.
a bloodthirsty mob just stormed the airport.
They literally stopped the plane on the tarmac and were climbing on the plane, banging on the windows of the plane, from what I heard. Like, they are not interested in supporting Israel in any way, shape, or form in Russia.
Russia has been fomenting anti-Semitism for decades. In fact, oh yeah, by the way, remember Russia signed a treaty with Germany to work with them to conquer all of Europe? It's a well-known thing. And here we go, Bobby Suzuki in there. I don't, but I haven't read Bobby Suzuki's comment. I don't know yet, but
No, it seems he says the funny thing. Some celebrities who call themselves activists and support Israel are the same side of the neocons and the right, like Deborah Messing, Amy Schumer, Gal Gadot, and others. There's a staunch support of Israel that I don't understand from the media and from celebrities. I've never understood it, and in this case, I definitely don't understand why we are so staunchly supportive of Israel. I don't, other than the fact that we've given them nuclear weapons and now have made them such a power that we now have to kind of worry about them and make sure that we're, keeping our thumb on them, so to speak, for lack of a better term. But I just, the support of Israel doesn't make much sense to me.
Again, it was okay, well fought over for all of the religions, all the three, I guess, two major religions. We're not, because Hinduism, I think, is the third. It has been fought over. It's an area, that whole region has been. There's been, as far as human existence, probably no region that has experienced more warfare.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Europe probably being a close second, but it's like this weird pickleball match where the ball's just being batted back and forth as people move side to side. A country is come and go, and there's always somebody to pick it up. And sometimes this lobbing back and forth of control and religion. I want to read a quote from a gentleman named David Ben-Gurion, who I'm reading his wiki right now, was the primary national founder of the state of Israel, as well as the state's first prime minister. Okay. He was born in part of Poland, so he has Polish Jewish heritage. And actually, oh wow, he immigrated to the Palestine region of the Ottoman Empire in 1906. Okay, let's just freeze right there for a second. That just like 20 something years ago, this area was part of the Ottoman Empire and the Crusades.
Right. Like, there are people probably that might, well, no, not, there's nobody that's probably still alive from that time, but.
We're going to talk about Bobby Knight.
Oh, don't worry, we've got Bob Knight.
We got Bob Knight. We got Bob Knight for you.
We got it covered.
On.
Yeah.
We got to cover the hard stuff first. So Ben-Gurion, this is what Ben-Gurion said about what amounts to basically. Well, just let me read the quote, okay?
Okay.
I don't understand your optimism, he declared. Why should Arabs make peace? If I was an Arab leader, I would never make terms with Israel. That is natural. We have taken their country. Sure, God promised it to us, but what does that matter to them? Our God is not theirs. We come from Israel. It's true. But 2,000 years ago, What was that to them? There has been anti-Semitism, the Nazis, Hitler, Auschwitz, but was that their fault? They only see one thing. We have come here and stolen their country. Why should they accept that? They may perhaps forget in 1 or 2 generations' time, but for the moment, there is no chance. It is simple. We have to stay strong and maintain a powerful army. Our whole policy is there. Otherwise, the Arabs will wipe us out. But how can you sleep with that prospect in mind? The reporter asked. And be prime minister of Israel too. And this dude, David Ben-Gurion, answered, "Who says I sleep?" But
yeah.
But there's the dude himself saying, like,
the
yes,
first prime minister of the state of Israel,
admitting that it was stolen territory, and it was.
There's no
You
other
can't-
way to state it. There's no other way to state it, ladies and gentlemen.
And
It's like the
anybody,
Native American. In a way, it's like it's like telling the Native Americans they shouldn't be mad about their land being taken
because God told us this is
because manifest destiny. Yeah,
that's what he's basically saying. He's because our God told us that this land is ours.
and just like
Well,
just like the Europeans coming to this country, that gentleman knew the same that the Europeans did, which was he who has the biggest army will win. The natives weren't organized in the way that the Europeans were, right? They didn't have an established army where they all got together. They were in tribes spread out, and they were all warring with each other before the Europeans ever even got here. So they were never really on the same page, right? And so he who has the biggest army wins. And that's what he's kind of saying there, is that we have to maintain an army because without it, we'll get overrun. We'll lose if we don't have a very strong, prolific army. And that's kind of, he who has the biggest gun wins, so to speak.
So, okay, let's also acknowledge why the state of Israel was granted by UN Charter in 1947. It was in the aftermath of World War II, where no country in Europe or Russia wanted to have people of Jewish heritage or faith at all in their country and went to lengths to exterminate them, if not hide. And then people hid their heritage and in fear of being eventually, if not already, run over by the Nazis. So there was no other place for these people to go. I'm not going to argue with anyone that's saying, like, well, God told these people that particular part of beautiful country and the land of like oats and honey is theirs because some thing said so is cool.
Yeah.
I'm not cool with that idea.
No, I agree. And then it was abused, though, because eventually Palestinians were being basically kicked out of their homes for, Jewish people from Brooklyn to come, live half of the year as so that they could have Israeli dual citizenship. And these Palestinian people would come in and they're like, this was my generations upon generations home. And you're just saying now I have to give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz from Lower Manhattan? Like, fuck those people. This is my house. This is my family's house. I'm not giving it up because some UN charter says that it's your property. Like, and that goes back to my whole ownership of property. Like, how does any human have any ownership over any property, any piece of land on this planet? We're all human beings at the end of the day, and like people don't seem to look at it at that granular level in these situations. Like, God damn it, we're all humans. Who gives a fuck what piece of land you live on? But yes, you're right. This one was given to these people because it was particularly a beautiful piece of land that was rich in ability to sustain a society of people. right? And yeah, the Palestinians were like, yeah, no shit, we kept it this way. And then these Israelis moved in and were just like, yep, you gotta go. And of course they're gonna be pissed off, just like that guy acknowledged. Of course they're gonna be mad.
They're pissed. And again, we have to also keep in mind the grand scheme of this ginormous chessboard that people like us don't play that game. People like them do.
Right.
And for generations that this is a plan. Like they're going to recapture this land by crook or whatever.
Mhm.
And we also then have to acknowledge that again, Hamas has no direct affiliation to the Palestinian people by hook or crook. Thanks, babe. Or by hook or any other thing.
Right.
That's right. I left it open. We can't paint with. That's what sucks about this, right? This whole thing, and obviously the loss of life is what really sucks. But the whole thing
within context,
there are no broad strokes. There are no easy everybody's wrong here. Everybody's fucking wrong here.
Everybody's wrong. We should make a jingle. Everybody's wrong.
We should move on. But like there's nobody wins in this situation. And as 50-50 as it is, the only people that are winning in this are politicians, the media, and government,
right? And whatever construction
religion.
companies are hired to go back in and rebuild Gaza after this is all over.
And it doesn't have to be that way. We could take a fraction of the defense budget and deliver food, medicine, shelter, clothing to everybody globally.
Mm-hmm.
And the warlords are going to take it. They're going to okay. So we're going to keep delivering more, and we're going to keep delivering more, and we're going to keep delivering more until those things aren't valuable anymore. And it's just everywhere, and food, and medicine, and clothing, and tents and shelter are everywhere.
Inaction because of the possibility that it will be abused does not justify the inaction.
Just what does it cost to deliver MREs and tents and winter clothing and stuff that, again, that would be
water.
That would go so much further than saying you need freedom. Like, wait, who gave us this stuff? Who saved our lives? Who saved my family, like my village? Wait, they just gave us like this weird like flag that has stripes and stars and it says we love you. And that like we win.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
And I'll be running for office in 2028. So folks, stand by for the GoFundMe because apparently that's how you kind of pay your bills these days.
Oh, well.
Oh, hello. Hey, we are like way late.
So you want to skip that next one?
No, I just want to point out that there's some weird shit going on in the world right now. And Pakistan has now started to arrest and deport 1.7 million Afghans back into Afghanistan, who are already being robbed at the border and probably sent to their death, either because of starvation, lack of supplies, or ability to sustain themselves, and just the sheer terror that exists out there because they were leaving for one reason or another. 1.7 million people. It was 1.1 million people trapped in Gaza. But now Pakistan's saying GTFO to 1.7 million people. Weird shit's going down, folks. In this country, too. We talked briefly last week about the new Speaker of the House. This guy's weird, and his wife is even more weird. But
yeah, talk about ideology getting religious ideology being brought into your government.
Elon Musk scrubbed this guy's social media. This guy deleted all of his social media.
Mike Johnson did?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah. All of his controversy. He took down all the weird stuff. Of course, he does not understand that the internet's forever. And
there are receipts. There are always receipts.
Always receipts. You can't. If you don't understand that about the internet flat out, you shouldn't be using it.
Yeah. How were you elected to a government official spot? but and you don't know how
He's-
the internet is forever.
He's a young Earth believer. He believes the Earth is like 6,000 to 10,000 years old. He believes that humans
He
and
looks like a guy.
dinosaurs walked the Earth at the same time.
Jesus. How
He believes that-
how did he get elected by people?
Well, again, I say he was the dark horse sleeper candidate, like that. He was the guy they really wanted, and they threw out like other
No,
candidates.
I'm
that
saying,
were,
how did the people of Louisiana elect this
Are
guy?
you kidding me? He's a preacher, pastor. His wife owned a company that
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Specifically, wait, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hi? Is this happening? No? You can hear me? Did I lose my internet connection? Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can hear you. There's things that. Here we go. Hold on. Now we're back. All right.
Okay, cool. Hello, cool. Well, I was so worried. He's a real weirdo.
He is a super weirdo, man. The more you hear about this guy, but you're right. Like, as far as Speaker of the House is concerned, I get that he was kind of like a sleeper candidate as far as the far right extremists were concerned. But I don't understand how this guy gets elected by the people of Louisiana. Like, you listen to this guy, what he believes in. I guess just because there's a lot of people in Louisiana believe like that. I guess. I mean, that's what the only. Oh, it's so frustrating. Like, this guy's a fucking goon. Look at him. Look at this fucking guy. He's a powerful member of our government now. This
one of
fucking
the
guy
most.
Who thinks that humans and dinosaurs roamed at the same time. This fucking guy
legitimately is like the third in line, the second in line, actually, if the president dies or is incapacitated. And it goes president, vice president, Speaker of the House.
Yeah, he's 2 heartbeats away from being the president.
And this is from Mother Jones. This weekend, I broke news that Johnson and his wife, Kelly Johnson, a self-described Christian counselor, a few years ago created a seminar that promoted the premise that the United States has been a Christian nation. I found a video of one of their sessions they held in 2019 at the Baptist Church they belong to in Bossier City, Louisiana. At the event, from the pulpit, Kelly declared that biblical Christianity, that is, a literal reading of the Bible as fundamentalists interpret it, is the only valid world view, and nothing else makes sense.
Oh my God.
Narrator, this worldview includes creationism, believing that the earth was created by God in 6 days, 6,000 years ago, and the denial of evolution. Mike Johnson called for a, quote, biblically sanctioned government, end quote. In this venue and many others, including a podcast that they had hosted together, and the pair had contended that there is only one truth, Jesus's truth.
Dude, these kind of hardcore fundamentalists of Christianity are super weird. Like, how in the world do you believe that a literal reading of the Bible, is the only valid worldview that makes sense? How does your brain as an adult take all in everything there is to know about Christianity and think that that is the literal word of God? How do you get to that point?
As he said in a Fox interview, quote, I'm a Bible-believing Christian. Someone asked me today in the media, they said, it's curious. People are curious. What does Mike Johnson think about any issue under the sun? I said, well, go pick up a Bible off your shelf and read it. That's my worldview.
Oh my God. What? 2 heartbeats from the presidency, ladies and gentlemen.
What is going on? Where in the Bible does it contain anything about uh, securing nuclear secrets, military secrets,
Right.
or funding allies? And did you? I don't know. Did you see his first piece of legislation was like apparently a bill that like was willing to fund Israel, not
Yes.
Ukraine,
Right.
but at the
And had to be
expense of the
separate.
IRS.
Exactly. Wanted to pull the money from the IRS. Yeah. Nice try, fucking asshole.
About $13 billion worth of money from the IRS. But when you read that, you're like, okay, well, bloated government. That was a very specific $13 billion that basically gutted a department that chased after tax cheats of income of $1 million or more.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to just totally dismiss the Bible and people's belief in the Bible.
No.
It is okay to read the Bible if you can understand that it is a book of fables and stories that are purposefully embellished and made with a lot of hyperbole and over dramatic to drive home a point, an overarching point that they're trying to pass down from generation to generation. It is a collection of stories meant to inspire and guide people to a way of life that is considered quote unquote good. That, if you look at it as that, I got no problem with it being your guidebook to how to live life. But this insane shit, where you're going to use it as your worldview and call it the literal word of God and that it is the only truth, that's bananas. To believe that there was a man that built a boat and put 2 of every animal on that boat and survived a flood and then restarted the population of this planet. To believe that that is a literally true story, you have to be infantile.
Ben, this is Bane. I just want you to know that we believe that you are correct. I forgot my Bane bit, to be honest with you. I'm good at the voice, but I completely forgot my bit. I was reading the comments. You're absolutely right. And the idea that somebody's firm belief in a book that was written and edited by men
300 years after the
Ben.
Yes. The Council of Nicaea. If you don't understand that the Council of Nicaea existed and that changed everything and that it happened 300 years after the death of Jesus.
It happened with the Torah. It happened with the Quran. It happened with the Bible. It happened with all of them. And at every level and every moment of history, religion was used as a cudgel to hold down the populace and keep them subjugated. That the Dark Ages weren't because they were just coming out of the plague and like, oh shit, we didn't know what to do. That literally at some point in Europe, the Catholic Church and the Christian Church decided that they could seize power by keeping people dumb and not teaching them how to read. The only people that knew how to read were the priests. So they kept people dumb for control purposes, right? They took these moments like coming out of a pandemic that like they did weird economic things. They did weird education things. You can't say that the United States education system has been on an upward slope over the last 40 years, right?
We've talked about, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm cutting
No, it's all of that. And that's why it's becoming too much. And that's why it seems like it's all, I'm not trying to be like a weird, like defeatist or like what's the point? Because I think the point, honestly, is hope, but that's a different show. The point in this is that all of these forces seem to want us to hate each other. And I don't want to hate anybody.
Right.
I want to do a weird podcast on Wednesday night with a bunch of really fucking cool people and have a cool, nice beverage to drink and talk with my friend Ben about better things and cooler things, science things, and watch weird videos with animals and shit.
Right.
But
No,
here we are,
it.
like worried about like fucking stories. Saying
how much knowledge, to your point, how much knowledge is lost to time because it was literally destroyed by religious people that wanted to keep it out of the minds of people in order to keep them on the path of what they thought they should know. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like
It was
entire of the Incas, the Aztecs had some incredible knowledge. We know that they understood things and had knowledge, and we destroyed it all in the name of Christianity and shit like
heresy.
that. Yeah.
To get to
crazy.
Biz brings up a fantastic point, but we've kept a lot of those concepts and gods alive in our modern era. To be honest with you, our democratic Anglo-Saxon existence is based off the Greek and Roman system. Full stop. That's
Right.
what. It's different for people who came up in the Mesopotamian area and what we call Iraq and Iran right now, and Syria and those areas. It was very different for a lot of different reasons. We branch out as human beings, right? And once we figure out our shit and get off this god-forsaken doomed planet, there'll be more branches of humanity as like there would be generations of people that live on a different planet and have different things happen to them evolutionarily. That's just what happens. We are not the end all be all of our evolution. But we act like we do. And you got fatalistic cult religions like this that believe in an afterlife. So much so that they're willing to waste this life because they firmly believe they're going somewhere else better after this.
Yeah.
Nobody asked me. Hold on. Nobody asked the Thunderdome.
No.
Hey, what's the opinion here? That's what we're dealing with on all of these sides. Right?
Yep.
Because don't tell me Hamas isn't a death cult. Don't tell me ISIS isn't and the Taliban aren't death cults, right? But don't tell me that this hardcore, I don't want to use the word Zionist because that triggers. It's not like that. But these hardcore right Israeli Jewish belief that belief there too is kind of just as nutty too, right? You believe in. Look, you want to call up some videos of Israeli government officials calling for the extermination of the Palestinian people as a defense method? They're there. It's not AI. All right.
Nope. It's not fake. Yep.
They are calling for genocide. We led this show with a story saying a UN official said, that's genocide. Nobody's listening to me. I'm out.
I'm out of here. Yeah.
Hey, I can't be part of this anymore. This is terrible. So it's folks like this. And now this dude's Speaker of the House, and he believes in these things. He believes in a hereafter that's better than this. Folks, I've worked too hard to enjoy the things I enjoy here right now. And I have no idea what's going to happen after this. As I think you should too. But that's another show too. Talk about hope. Oh, guess who has no hope, Ben? Donald Trump Jr. At what, Ben? Getting his father's love. Uh-oh. I just lose internet connection. Uh-oh. I lost internet connection. The internet connection in this building sucks.
No, it's me.
I'm is it? Problem. Oh, no. Blame the internet connection. As Terry Boers once said, it sucks a sick monkey's butthole. Hey, you want to hear about a story of a son desperately wanting a father's love and admiration and attention? You don't have to go too far. This guy, Donald Trump Jr., this guy, he had to testify in court today about his father's fraud case. Asked several times about like what happened here. What he said, I don't recall several times. And one time he said he did not recall much, including, this is from The Guardian, by the way, including why there was a brief period in 2021 where he had resigned and then been restored to the trust. Trump Jr. said there was, quote, an autonomy to do what I wanted, end quote, but that he consulted with Weisselberg and others. Pressed on his role in creating financial statements at the heart of the case, Trump Jr. said, quote, the accountants worked on it. That's why we pay him, end quote. I want to point out that if you've ever watched a video of Donald Trump Jr., check one out because that's probably all you need to know.
Right.
And if you've ever hung out or know anybody that enjoys, let's just say, amphetamine,
Okay.
skating on glass, walking on glass, cutting it like that, well, you're not wrong, Ben. You're not wrong. In court today, apparently he was talking too fast, and the judge asked him to slow down. And I don't know if this is a dog whistle or just a good response, but like when asked to slow down, the fast-talking Trump Jr. said, "I apologize, Your Honor. I moved to Florida, but I kept the New York pace."
What?
The dude was fucking coked up going into court to basically try to get his father's affection by saying, "Nope. Couldn't have been us. Wasn't us. It was those accountants. I don't recall. It wasn't those accountants." Come on.
Judge said, I cannot hear you over the vigorous teeth.
Really quick. You know what? We're going to move on. Ben, let's actually, hey, you know what? Let's go to that Urban Growers really quick, if you don't mind.
Got it.
Earlier this month, a really worthy charity called the Urban Growers Collective got a $1 million grant to plant trees and for a whole bunch of educational reasons. Super cool, right? One of the reasons that Gigi, Amy Cleaver, is so awesome is that she has been giving to this charity for years. Every month, a little bit comes out of her paychecks. And this group of people literally have tried to reverse the food desert that is the South Side of Chicago. Not only by growing and then I think they have 2 buses now that once the harvest is in, they drive buses around and that's where people come in to buy their produce. But they teach now the youth. They have a youth outreach program that will teach people and kids how to garden, how to cultivate, how to grow food. And food deserts suck, right? You can't even eat. You don't have food. You go to bed hungry. That is the worst amongst all of the other things that are going on, right? Food, shelter, and clothing, right? The Urban Growers Collector is a Black and woman-led nonprofit, and it has all of the right qualities, all of the right people, and absolutely has the soul of a really great charity. And I think they're eventually going to be opening up. If you see like that picture right there, like an entire campus. I think that's going to be including a grocery store, and then some look, this is a really cool.
That's a great story.
It's a fantastic story to kind of wash away all the other stuff. But I think we also need. I think we need more of a palate cleanser.
Okay.
Too. So, Ben, I want to present to you Stella. Stella loves leaves, loves autumn. And
Who doesn't?
And somebody's really good with the camera.
Bingo. Here we go. Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, it's so great.
You're like, doesn't get old.
It's incredible.
Dogs are the best.
Oh, it's so great. Oh, it's so great.
It's good to laugh, right?
Look at that tail.
I know that tail's the best.
Oh,
And
man.
this next, it was Halloween. Apparently,
It was.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Yesterday, apparently, so one of the best costumes that I saw, Ben.
Yeah.
was-
This is right up there. I saw
this. And I actually might have to look up if you can, I'll explain it. If you can look up the actual video of him pitching.
Oh, it's
because
incredible.
still-
Yeah. People have not seen it.
what you're looking at right now, if you don't know what you're looking at right now, is a picture of somebody cosplaying as Randy Johnson and a bird.
You type in Randy Johnson in YouTube, the first
first
thing
thing.
that comes up is Randy Johnson hits bird.
And it's in a famous or infamous, I guess, moment in baseball history. There is a captured on live television Randy Johnson, who was a fireballer back in his day.
Yes, one of the hardest throwers to ever throw a baseball. Let's be perfectly clear.
And an unfortunate flight path.
This is a spring training game. Boom.
That puff of stuff was a bird. The ball never made it to home plate.
In slow motion, it's great. Watch this. He's one of the tallest pitchers ever. For one of the
6'10".
hardest thrower ever. And the bird, the one of the most
Disintegrate.
incredible pieces of timing you'll have ever seen in your life. The bird exploded. It's incredible.
That bird in the Hall of Fame. This Halloween costume is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. It's so great.
Fantastic mullet, mustache. He's holding a ball left-handed. There's blood on his pants there. She's bloodied up.
Obviously the bird, yes, yeah.
Yep. Fantastic. A+.
Plus that guy looks like a hell of a good time. That guy looks like he has a great time.
Don't we all?
Yes.
It was Halloween, right?
It was.
Did you see the I don't know what I said.
Victor Wembanyama? Yeah.
Oh, did you see this?
It's pretty crazy.
I was hoping you would say his name because I know him as Wemby.
Wembanyama is his
Speaking
name.
of conspiracy theories.
Okay.
This you don't know Slender Man?
Oh, I know of it. I don't know like the details, but I know of that something called Slender Man exists, and I know like a little girl was killed by some other little girls, or something, or assaulted in something to do with Slender Man.
And he's what? He's 7 foot, 7'1"?
Oh no! He is 7'4" with like an
7'4".
8.5 foot white wingspan. It's fucking crazy.
He's an anomaly as far as like human beings. So the whole Slender Man thing works. And if you don't know Slender Man, folks, he nailed it. Yes, it's weird and creepy and scary. But look at those hands. Holy
dude, for real. Yeah, he's 19 years old. I'm actually going to see him play. My wife, Adrian, and I are going to see him play in Oklahoma City next week for my birthday. Which, by the way, we will not be on next week. Or not next week, 2 weeks from now.
Oh.
I will not. The 15th, we will not be on because I will be on my way home from Oklahoma City, having watched that man right there, Victor Wembanyama, play against Chet Holmgren, who is another phenom rookie for the Oklahoma City Thunder. That I'm getting a chance to watch them now because I'm fairly certain that after this year, it will be impossible to get a ticket to watch them play against each other. They are going to be the next generation of Magic and Bird for the next 10, maybe 10 plus years in the NBA. Victor Wembanyama is a freak of nature that is beyond. So he's 7'3". He's actually about he's actually 7'5" according to ESPN. And let's see, he has an 8-foot wingspan. Yeah.
But he can, but the thing about it is like back in the day, you thought like Manute Bol, and Manute Bol can do like one thing, right? Block shots and box.
He moves
people
like
out.
a guard.
He moves like a guard. He can dribble. He can pass. He can shoot. He can play make. He can drive. He can, if you want to play down low, that's basketball talk. But if he is real, and you play.
People that know basketball say that already are saying that as long as he stays healthy, he will be in the GOAT conversation.
So there you have it. And to be able to see him play, he'll be one of those guys that shows up on like all those like nationally broadcast basketball games. For the Spurs,
that's a real person, Billy Wack, real human being.
Absolutely, he's just a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Let's just
freaks of nature.
Well, I think yes. Who doesn't love a hippo? We love hippos on the show, and they love
pumpkins. They will fuck up a pumpkin.
Look at that.
Just with ease.
Just crushing it.
Well, I never stop being amazed by hippos.
And they're so weird. And
they are those
too. Rhinos are weird.
Giant fucking water cows.
And again, I on Twitter I follow the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, and all those elephants. The elephants again. All of these creatures. Why would we want to fuck up a place that had creatures like this on it that we don't understand, but are so cool and get along with?
And we've got more. That wasn't the only video.
Oh no. I believe this is
look at the little guy. Look at the little guy. He's gonna get a little pumpkin.
No, he's like, nope. Mom, hey mom, give me some of yours.
Yeah.
Moms everywhere watching are like, hell yeah, this is what happens.
Pumpkin. Yeah.
It finally does. The ear shakes make me think that is the world famous. Is that Fritz or Fiona? Because I saw ear shakes there. Andy Cooper.
Yeah, this is the beginning of this. Rewinds back to the beginning. But
So not so cute, but way more hilarious. Earlier today, famous college basketball coach, analyst, I guess, in his later life, Bobby Knight passed away.
One of the most famous and infamous basketball coaches of all time. Arguably one of the top 5 greatest college basketball coaches that ever existed, but also one of the top 5 worst human beings that may have ever walked Earth. So, he was an ornery, very old school, he very angry, and ultimately got fired from Indiana for putting his hands around the throat of one of his players in the middle of a practice.
Isn't it like Bobby Schreier or something like that? But he's gotten fired from multiple places, right?
But Indiana, I mean, he was a god at Indiana. God, you have to understand, he was a god at the University of Indiana, and could have easily have spent his entire career at the University of Indiana and rode off into the sunset as the greatest college basketball coach of all time. But his emotions and his temper just consistently got the best of him.
And I just want to point out that earlier in our group chat, that when you first let us know that Bobby Knight had passed away, that Lockport Joe chimed in that like we don't, basically one less asshole, absolutely, and I said one less angry man who throws chairs at people. Billy Wack knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So caught on tape.
So this is legendary. This is this might be the most legendary piece of tape for a man who has a number of legendary pieces of tape. But this was recorded at halftime. Unbeknownst to he does not know that he is being recorded at this point. This is halftime of a game against Purdue. And it's a minute and 18 seconds of just sports greatness.
Want to play, then I'm getting the fuck out of here. I mean, if you're not going to recover Greg Graham, if you're just going to let him drive by you, if the rest of you are going to let him catch the ball outside the 3-second lane and drive all the way in here without one guy challenging him, then I'm leaving and you fucking guys will run till you can't even suffer. Now, I'm tired of this shit. I'm sick and fucking tired of an 8-10 record. I'm fucking tired of losing to Purdue. I'm not here to fuck around this week. Now, you may be, but I'm not. And I'm going to fucking guarantee you that if we don't play up there Monday night, you aren't going to believe the next 4 fucking days. Now, I am not here to get my ass beat on Monday. Now, you better fucking understand that right now. This is absolute fucking bullshit. Now, I'll fucking run your ass right into the ground. I mean, I'll fucking run you. You'll think last night was a fucking picnic. I had to sit around for a fucking year with an 8-10 record in this fucking league. And I mean, you will not put me in that fucking position again. Or you will goddamn pay for it like you can't fucking believe. Now you better get your head out of your ass.
He just walks out of the locker room.
Halftime speech. They had to play another 20 minutes of basketball.
Yeah, they went back on it like, fucking hey, god damn it.
Passion. That guy's got the passion. That guy understands that it's all about hearts and guts. You know, that's
oh shit,
a hell of a
so
speech
great.
right there.
Unbelievable.
Pretty serious about sports. He sure is. But you know what we're pretty serious about, Ben? Well, we're serious about thunder. We're serious about lightning. And we're serious about the lightning round. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my dad's favorite segment on the show. It's called the lightning round, where we practice a thing called democracy. And the Bolts are going up in the zone right now. The world's most dangerous chat zone against the Thunderdome. Folks, if you're new to the program or just need a refresher course, let me explain to you the rules of the lightning round. I read you 3 headlines. You, the people, vote on those 3 headlines, and then we dive in to the winner. Folks, it is a practice of democracy.
Indeed.
And I absolutely want to point out my radio professionalism and just going right through that abrupt end to the theme song without.
Yes, thank you. That was my bad. That was
please.
That was shitty production on my part.
I know how to lift you back up, but I just mentioned it, so I guess
exactly. You covered it up and then exposed the trick at the same time.
Well, sometimes I want to shine a little credit on.
Very Penn and Teller of you.
Well, okay, fair enough. Headline number 1. Florida mom arrested when 7-year-old enters bar to find her following hours alone in unlocked car.
Oh, Florida woman.
Headline number 2. Bull semen. Artificial insemination change stolen in County Tyrone. Headline number 3. Luxury California home, complete with meth lab and contamination, selling for $1.55 million.
Okay. Yeah, number 1 is very sad. It's just sad, yeah.
So what we do here is we wait for you to put your vote into the Thunderdome, the chat. The chat.
Number 2 has the best headline for sure.
We've already got Biz going for number 1.
Bull semen.
Let me as everybody's, I'm sure, reeling from,
which, by the way, sounds like a Rough Me Up song.
It was the name of their all male outing. Headline number 1. Florida mom arrested when 7-year-old enters bar to find her following hours alone in an unlocked car.
Ugh.
Headline number 2. Bull semen. Artificial insemination tank stolen in County Tyrone. And headline number 3.
What are you doing?
Luxury California home complete with meth lab and contamination, selling for $1.55 million.
I've always wanted a home with a meth lab.
And contamination?
Well, I could take or leave the contamination. But the meth lab is like having your own man cave at this point. Like on the next House Hunters, I want someone to be like, yeah, I need a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a meth lab.
It's a simple ask.
Yeah.
These days.
I'm a teacher. My husband's an artist, and we have $4 million to spend on the next House Hunters.
Hello. Not a lot of votes in there. I don't know
Chompy
Mage. I love you.
Who are you? And welcome.
It's a fantastic name.
I love that. Yes. Welcome from YouTube. Joining us from YouTube of all places.
Not
a Russian bot or Ryan.
We've got the Ryan.
It was tough. Yeah. Number 2, because you've got someone stole bull semen, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck are they going to do with it?
That's a good question, Ben. So I think we're still short.
There we go.
Sweet. Okay. All right. So now we have we're a little bit of a tie, ladies and gentlemen. Waiting for the VIP.
I get to maybe break a tie. I haven't broken a tie. There we
there
go.
Is Dad Ethan Brooks standing in.
Okay.
Pushes.
We're waiting on one other VIP. I think Ma Jordan's got to be out there somewhere, right?
We got Biz's vote, right?
We did get Biz's vote.
We got Biz's vote. We got Amy Cleaver. We got Aaron. We got Chompy Mage. I don't see Bobby Suzuki's vote. But,
he must have left us after our discussion on Israel. Oh, the Australian guy.
Australian guy is number 3. Okay, right.
Is that Ben Guinness?
Oh, that guy, our reporter, our deep Aussie source, Ben Guinness. I don't know.
Could it be?
Okay,
joining us from Twitch.
All right, sweet. Welcome to the show. Australian.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Welcome. We do this every Wednesday at 7 o'clock,
generally speaking,
Central Standard Time, U.S. time. But most of the time, except for 2 weeks from now,
when we won't be here.
We won't be here. So I think we're gonna. I think we might have to close the voting. I don't know.
All right, let's do it. I think what's the winner? I think number 3 came in late.
Number 3 with a late surge. I feel like that Vince Kornacki guy, or what's it? Steve Kornacki. Let me see. No, the votes guy. No. Okay. Anyway, the late surge. No, story number 3 takes the crown. Steve Kornacki. Thank you very much, baby. Love you. Headline from CBS News. Hello. Luxury. Oh, wait. You know what? Hold on. You know what, Ben?
Yeah, we got to see what this home looks like, right?
Let me send this to you because the visuals kind of make it, and as talented as
you gotta. If I'm going to spend $1 million on a house, I'm sorry, it can't come with a meth lab.
Now's your chance to own a luxury California home complete with meth lab and meth contamination for sale at $1.55 million. The 6-bedroom house in Tony, San Jose offers a great location with easy access to the freeway, according to the realtor's listing, which notes it affords more than 2,700 square feet of living space. That might appeal to anyone needing an easy commute into Silicon Valley, with Apple's Cupertino campus just 20 minutes drive away and Google's Mountain View home less than a half an hour away.
That's a very wordy description for this shithole that we have on the screen right here.
It's in a quiet neighborhood, part of a good school catchment area, and has a backyard planted with orange, apple, and lemon trees.
Ooh!
There are 3.5 bedrooms, a swimming pool, a luxury spa, garage parking for 1 car, solar panels, and air conditioning throughout.
Woo!
It also has a big patio, which is perfect for entertaining. Oh, and a place you could cook up deadly and addictive illegal drugs. It's a great opportunity to own a large home at 6,000 square feet. A home has an inactive meth lab and meth contamination. Home has not been cleared of contamination and will be transferred to the new buyer in its current state. A listing on Zillow notes the property seller increased the price to $125,000 on the 21st of October. The San Jose home's previous owner was 36-year-old Peter Karasev, a Los Angeles Times reported, who was arrested in March on suspicion of attacking electricity transformers. According to police, the investigation into Karasev began on July 5th, when the officers with the San Jose Police Department responded to a report of an exploded transformer at 3:16 a.m. local time. Windows were broken out at a dental office nearest the transformer. Officers believed it was just a malfunction, but later in the day were summoned back to the scene when, quote, evidence of an explosive device was located.
This is such a great story.
Video surveillance
Thank you,
reviewed by the
Thunderdome.
investigation and officers showed a person later identified as Karasev approaching the area on a bicycle and wearing a backpack. The footage showed Karasev placing the backpack at the bottom of the transformer box, appeared to use a, quote, ignition source, and then get back on the bicycle and ride off. Moments later, the backpack and the transformer exploded. The transformer appeared to... I think I'm lost. Hold on. Wait. Should I keep reading? Did I lose it?
No, you're good. You're still here.
Oh, sweet. The transformer appeared to burn for several minutes before causing a large explosion. PG&E employees told police that a similar incident had occurred on December 8th of 2022 when the company was alerted to a power outage around 4 a.m. local time. That incident was also believed to be a malfunction, but detectives found very similar details and, quote, similar visual residue at both scenes, according to the San Jose Bomb Squad. The investigation soon led to Karasev, police identifying him using cell phone information. As well as the meth lab, police searching his home also found weapons stockpile, including guns and homemade liquid explosive, multiple energetic homemade destructive devices. Let me say again, multiple energetic homemade destructive devices. And according to police at the time, Karasev, who the paper said lived there with his wife and 3 young children, has been hit with a raft of charges, including possession of destructive device, igniting a destructive device, and child endangerment. The Mercury News reported that Karasev was indicted by a federal grand jury on October 19th. For those who don't mind a bit of a project, the $1.55 million price tag makes the house a good value by California's expensive real estate standards. A nearby 4-bedroom house sold in May for $1.725.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you're only saving like roughly 500 grand?
For a half a bedroom more.
For half
without a meth lab.
And without this being what you start with, this fucking house right here is what you start with. You're gonna pay 1.2 for that? Oh man, this is a great evidence of how the headline doesn't always do the story justice. But kudos to the Thunderdome for sniffing this one out, because this was, I'm sure, better than the Bull Seaman story.
You never know. We always kind of sometimes recirculate some stories.
That Bull Seaman story might have to recirculate itself back in here.
That's a weird thing to say, right? That Bull Seaman's going to recirculate it. But that's I have a good time. It's the Thunderdome. It's the world's most dangerous chat zone, the living, breathing heartbeat of this show. The thing that Ben and I do every Wednesday, except not this next Wednesday, but the second Wednesday.
Yeah, the 15th. No.
15th, no show. No show on the 15th. But
hey, real quick.
Oh, no.
I need support from the Thunderdome. My daughter Kylie has a raffle. She's selling raffle tickets for her volleyball team. 1 ticket's $5, 5 for 20. Hit up Adrian on Facebook if you can help her out. We would greatly appreciate it.
It's important because I had to fundraise for when I was in band in high school too, and that makes the whole experience more worth it. Earning things to I'm sure Kylie is going to be doing some cool stuff with the volleyball team, right? Indeed. Traveling, right?
Yep.
Folks, from the deck of the USS Rapapa, it's been our honor and pleasure to serve you. It's been Topic Thunder. Have a good